Hi everyone, in this example we'll be looking at quadratic foiling on the SAT Math section. This is question number 4 taken from the No Calc section of official practice test number 6, and it says 4x squared minus 9 is equal to px plus t, the quantity, times the quantity px minus t. And it says in the equation above p and t are constants, which of the following could be the value of p? So for this kind of a question, what we first want to do is recognize that we need to simplify this as much as possible and then try to use what they've given us to solve the question. It's important that whenever you've been given constants on the SAT, that you just try to first simplify the question as much as possible and then try to figure out what they've given you and how that connects to the problem. So obviously the left side has just been given to us, so what we want to do is simplify the right side. So we have px plus t times px minus t. So what we're going to need to do is we need to FOIL this out together, which means that we need to multiply the first part of, or the first piece to the first part, times the first piece of the second part, then the first piece of the first part to the second piece of the second part, and so on and so on. So what we're going to do is first multiply px times px, which is over here. So px times px is just going to equal p squared times x squared. Next we're going to do px times negative t, which is just going to be minus pxt. Then we're going to multiply this part right here, positive t and positive px, so we're just going to get plus pxt, and then multiply this last part, positive t and negative t, which is just equal to minus t squared. So one important thing to recognize is that in the form that they've given us, these two middle parts actually cancel out, these parts right here, the negative pxt and the positive pxt. And so essentially we can just delete these two since we know now that they cancel each other out, and all we're left with is p squared x squared minus t squared. And this is really convenient for us because on the left side we know that this has to be equal to 4x squared minus 9. And what they're asking us is which of the following could be the value of p. So I know they only asked us for p, but if we just think about this, if we have 4x squared, we know that this is going to have to equal the p squared x squared part. And we know the negative 9 is going to have to equal the minus t squared part. So essentially what we have here is the ability to solve this by just knowing positive and negative quadratic. So to get negative 9 where the negative is outside, t could equal either 3 or negative 3, because if you square 3 or negative 3 you get 9. And if you look at the p squared x squared part over here, if we look at p, to get 4 from p squared, we could either have 2 or negative 2, because once again, if you just square those, it's going to equal 4. So we know that p has to equal either 2 or negative 2. And if we look at the answer choices, they only gave us positive 2, but it's only asking us which of the following could be the value of p. And so that's how we know that A is the correct answer to this problem.